Hello, everybody, and welcome to another great episode of the Gridiron Glory podcast here with Tad and Will. We're bringing you all 32 teams all season long. We're getting to the conclusion of that here. We're going to talk to you today about a matchup that took place between the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers. And with that being said, yeah, you look at the charts, and honestly, Tad, I was really surprised that San Francisco. Let's just talk first of all. Despite circumstance, San Francisco did come out and compete in this football game.
Yeah, they certainly did. I mean, they went out, they played their game, and they played with a lot of pride. I mean, you do love to see that. You love to see a team
I
after
mean,
they're eliminated just come out and giving it their all, and they did just that.
a team that knows that they're eliminated but did not check out on the season, and you love to see it. Like
Certainly,
they still they still want to go out there and win.
I mean, they feel like they owe their fans a good game. I mean, this was one of their last home games. I mean, this might have been their last home game of the year, in fact. And I mean, they wanted to give their fans something positive to remember. And yeah, it was their last home game of the year. So I mean, the fans can go out knowing that they competed with one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, they went into this game with a 6-9 record, but they are now 6-10. They still have a chance to go 7-10. So, yeah, Joshua Dobbs did come into this game. Yeah, Tad, where would you rank Joshua Dobbs amongst backup quarterbacks in the league? Former
Yeah,
Viking.
Josh Dobbs, I mean, he is an energetic guy. He goes out there, he creates chaos. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. We've seen it go both ways. But I mean, he's an exciting football player to watch. And I mean, he'll be starting in their season finale more likely than not. So it'll be an entertaining experience, the Josh Dobbs experiment, the not.
The Niners did have a solid lead going like almost into the fourth quarter, and then of course Amon-Ra St. Brown basically scored really what you would consider probably the touchdown, the pivotal touchdown there. Yeah, Tad,
Yeah.
what's your take on Amon-Ra St. Brown? Where do you rank him amongst receivers in the league overall? Actually, Tad, I would actually like to draw back that take and ask you where would you rank Amon-Ra St. Brown amongst offensive players overall in the NFL?
I mean, probably what, top 10, top 15, somewhere in that range.
Like,
I mean, he's an incredible receiver. I mean, he does what he does. He's plays hurt. He gives it his all no matter what. And yeah, it's gonna be a very exciting experience to watch him just go out and do what he does. I mean,
um,
you
how
gotta be
important is it, how
go
important
on.
is it that the Detroit Lions are 8-0 on the road?
I mean, they just show you that they don't really care where they are. They're just gonna go up out there. They're gonna go compete. They're gonna give everything that matters. And honestly, it might not matter at all because depending on how things go in their upcoming matchup, they might be homebound for the entire playoffs. But if things don't go their way next week, it could be very important in the playoffs for them to win on the road.
And word on the street is Dan Campbell will be playing his starters next week. Probably all of his starters. And yeah, word on the street. The reason why is because they will be battling Tad your Minnesota Vikings for the 1 seed.
Yeah, I mean everything on the line. If you win, you're the 1 seed. If you lose, you're the 5 seed going on the road immediately. And I mean, just that's the games you dream of when you're a little kid thinking about going out there, having something to play for. And I mean, they get their chance. I mean, last year they were 3 seed and they were on the road when they lost in that NFC Championship game. They would love to have a second chance at that being at home this time. So we'll see. I mean, they're certainly going to come out and they're going to give it their all. We know that. That's all Detroit does. They only know how to go full throttle.
Um, and Minnesota is going to have to do the same.
Certainly.
So yeah, Tad, it's going to be very fun to see what happens. I know you for a fact you would love to see your Vikes get the 1 seed.
Would be great when the 1 seed win the division. It's going to be a challenge. I mean, Detroit, they've been arguably the best team in the NFL throughout the entire season. And now here we go. I mean, one game to prove it. I mean, it all comes down to one game in terms of the regular
Like
season.
one team will be 15-2, one team will be 14-3,
Yeah.
and a wild card, a 14-3 wild card team.
Yeah, the first time in NFL history a team with 14 wins is going to be a wild card. That's never happened before in NFL history. So we'll see how that all shakes out. But I mean, when it comes down to it, I mean, Detroit, they just have so many weapons. I mean, even without David Montgomery, you still have Jahmyr Gibbs with his 18 runs, 117 yards and a touchdown. Jamison Williams had a long touchdown. Sam Laporta does what he does. St. Brown, Gibbs with 4 catches. I mean, they could just move the ball in so many ways. I mean, if you shut down like 1 or 2 of their weapons, they still have so many ways they can come attack you.
Yeah, I mean, even guys like Sam Laporta, who got 64 yards and a touchdown, Tad, I would like to personally and genuinely ask you, where would you rank Sam Laporta amongst tight ends in the league?
I mean, compared to his rookie year, his numbers they don't quite look as good as they did his rookie year. When he broke out, he was a Pro Bowler as a rookie, but I mean, he's still going out there and he's still putting up respectable numbers. I mean, 7 touchdowns, 663 yards in 15 games. I mean, like I said, the stats they're down across the boards, but even still, I mean, he's showing that. I mean, I'd say he's easily a top 5 tight end in the league. I think you could say.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, and they're gonna need him in the playoffs. So, um, Kirby Joseph did get 2 interceptions in this game, Tad. A very notable performance by Mr. Kirby Joseph, the second-year pro out of Illinois. And yeah, Tad, where would you rank Kirby Joseph amongst safeties in the league? And I would also like to add, he has 9 interceptions, which leads the league.
Yeah, I mean, Kirby Joseph. I mean, when he's not out there biting people's kneecaps, he's a pretty solid football player. I mean, he's a great coverage player, and he can certainly cause problems for the offense in more ways than one.
What are the Vikings going to need to do to, I guess, play around Kirby? I mean, you talk about Kirby Joseph and Justin Jefferson in that end zone. I mean, what's going to need to happen there?
I mean, the Vikings are going to do whatever they can to keep Justin Jefferson away from Kirby Joseph. I mean, that's the scheme for O'Connell to get going. I mean, you don't want Kirby Joseph getting a lot of brutal hits on Justin Jefferson. I mean, you know what happened the last time you played Detroit late in the season, and he completely messed up TJ Hawkinson's knee, and that injured him for like the entire end of the season last year and half of the season this year. So I mean, you want to do what you can to keep your players safe from Kirby Joseph.
Well, yeah. I mean, he is. He's a tough defensive player. He's well. Yeah. I hated to see that moment from what happened. Obviously, being a Vikings fan, but a good performance here with the 2 interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great football player. He goes out there and he plays with reckless abandon. He does what he does. He's a great football player.
Lions win 40-34 on Monday Night Football. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow. This is the Gridiron Glory.